In this chapter, we're going to talk about filters. Now go ahead and dig around in your working folder for this particular chapter and open up 136_3187.281.psd. It's from our friends at PhotoSpin. Filters. There are over 100 filters located under this little menu item right here. All kinds of things going on. This chapter cannot cover all of them, obviously. What I'd like to do in this chapter is get you acquainted with them, talk about the ways to use them, and what I want you to do from that point forward, just like I did, is experiment with them, play around with them, get to know them, find out what they do, and when you might or might not want to use them. Let's start in this lesson with something called the filter gallery. Now, I think one thing is very important to do almost every time you create an item that you're going to apply a filter to. And that would be to go up to the word filter on the pull-down menu after selecting the layer and say convert for smart filters. Now you will notice I have access to everything. If I convert for smart filters and go back up to the word filter, you will notice that I have a vanishing point grayed out. You cannot do vanishing point on smart filter. And there is one blur, which is lens blur, that will not work. Everything else works. Smart filters allow us to change our mind. It's non-destructive editing, and that says it all. No matter what we've done, we can change it, and unless you have to do something that you can't use smart filters, it just makes perfect sense to do it this way. So let's go up to the word filter on the pull-down menu and go down to Filter Gallery. Now, in Filter Gallery, number one, you're not seeing much, are you? Let's go down here. We do have two little tiny buttons which allow me to reduce the size or increase the size, but don't forget your shortcuts here. If you hold down the Control key, and that is the Command key on Mac, the Control key in Windows, and press the plus or minus keys on your keyboard, you can do the same thing, and that's a shortcut that's nice to know. You can click this button here. You say, well, I don't know what size, I just want it to fit the area I have, and click here, Fit and View. Now what it's going to do is it's going to give you the last thing you did, and the last thing I did was film grain, so that's over here. But let's start on this side here. These are the available filters. 47 of the filters can be applied using the filter gallery. To open them up, all you have to do is click here. And to apply one, all you have to do is click on it. All filters do have options. Colored pencil has width, stroke pressure, paper brightness. You've got cutout. I like cutout. Cutout's kind of fun. And if I can take the levels down like this or bring them up. Simplicity, that's an interesting one. More detail. Fidelity is an interesting feature. Now notice if I get up and do really complex things like this with my simplicity and I move fidelity, nothing really changes that much. But if I knock that down and make it less complicated and then do fidelity, it will change it slightly, ever so slightly. Not a lot though. What I think about with fidelity, and this may just be me, it's more like a really simplified live trace out of Adobe Illustrator. For some reason, that's how I look at it. If you're not into Illustrator, that might not make that much sense. But it's a device that allows it to look for large blocked edges, and then it somehow traces around those edges. Interesting. Maybe I don't want this one. Maybe I want something else. You click all day long. Now, one of the advantages to going to the filter gallery is, number one, you can see it. But you could see it anyway if you were just using it from the pull-down menu up here. So what's the advantage of gallery? To me, the advantage of the gallery is the ability to apply multiple filters and see what they look like at the same time. So if you come over here, it says rough pastels. Say you like that, and you wonder what it would look like with rough pastels and maybe something else. So you come down here and you click this button right here, which is New Effect Layer. So now we have two rough pastels. We select the one that we want to change and apply a second filter. So that's rough pastels and poster edges, or rough pastels and fresco. On and on and on it goes. The cool thing is, let's say we like this one when it finishes. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you come over, you click OK. You come back tomorrow and you go, well, I don't like it as much as I liked it yesterday, so I'm going to have to start all over again. I need to pick up the original image. We are working with smart filters. If I come down here to the Filter Gallery button and double-click it, it will take me right back to where I was and allow me to continue the process or to change things. Let me go ahead and get back out of here. If you don't want it anymore, you could always turn it off, or you can drag it to the trash. So when you're working with filters, think filter gallery from multiple filters. Always convert the image, unless you just can't use it, into a smart filter layer, which makes sense. And basically, if you do need to change it or get rid of it, all you got to do is come down here.